Jungkook, if that's what you want. He grabbed his phone and turned it on. Calling her father, he gave it to her. Jungkook let her talk to him. He quietly listened to her while his head rested against the back of the couch. His fingers wiped every tear that left her eye. She looked so fragile and vulnerable, he wished to kiss her every pain away. She told him how she was fine and Jungkook never hurt her, and the call ended with them agreeing to return to Seoul tonight. Come here, he whispered, adjusting her in his lap and engulfed her in his warm embrace. Wine hid her face in his chest. She never deserved any of this. It was a war between the men. She became a target of such cruelty without a reason. Wine, fix it with that. Please put an end to this. I can't face it anymore. Jungkook, I will, before you know it. I'll fix it all. Jungkook brought Wine back to her home. As the two stepped inside, her father was waiting with his guards spread across the mansion. Wine tried to stay calm as she moved away from Jungkook and went to her father. It was in that moment every guard present there pointed their guns at Jungkook. Wine's father checked Wine everywhere, asking for any injury. When he received a positive reply, he finally breathed in peace. Dad, go to your room. I need to see him. Wine, Dad, please, you promised. You will listen to us. Dad, back to room. Wine. Jungkook, it's okay, Wine. I'll handle it. You should go and rest. She hesitantly stepped back and rushed to her room. Jungkook's eyes turned cold as they landed on her father. Dad, you have done a huge mistake, and you are going to pay for this. Jungkook, think again. Who will she choose when she know the truth? Dad, don't you dare even try to contact her again, or I'm going to be the end of you now, John. He clenched his jaw while maintaining his overall stance before him. Jungkook, just like you were the end of my parents? Not anymore. They were weak. I am not. I love your daughter, and I'm never letting her go. Jungkook, as much as I hate you, your daughter is never going to be the target of your cruelty. I will never hurt her. It's better if you give me her yourself before I make sure she will never even look at you again. You have 2 days, Mr. Jihan. And like that, he was walking out of the den unharmed, with his chin raised high and shoulders pushed back. Wine's father, Jihan, had killed his parents when he was a young boy of 10. They became a target of the mafia war's cruelty. Jungkook's childhood was gone the day he saw his parents getting buried side by side. He had no intentions of letting Wine know any about this. No matter what Jihan did to Jungkook, he was still her father, whom she loved and adored. He would never snatch a father from a daughter. Wine stayed the whole day in her room. The next day, when she came out, she had prepared dinner herself for her father. Wine, Dad, won't you talk to me? She asked, her eyes vulnerable, as she served him and took a seat beside him. Dad, why did you go to meet him when I forbid you, Wine? Wine, let's please not talk about him. Let's talk about us. I missed you. He sighed, and the two ate without talking about Jungkook anymore. She tried to make a conversation, which he took part in, appreciating her efforts. Once the two were comfortable again, she brought Jungkook in again. Wine. He never hurt me. He took care of me. He always did, regardless of my rude behavior. He coped up with me every insult. He stayed quiet as he listened to her voice crack at every word that left past her lips. She was hurt. Wine. I don't know why you two are so against each other. But Dad, why am I becoming a part of this? What is my fault? Dad, he's dangerous. Wine. Wine. Who is not? Are you not? Is there anyone in this business who is pure? Didn't you want to marry me? A made man who can protect me and himself alone. Except for your rivalry, he's everything you wanted for your daughter. Jihan sighed. Today was the deadline given by Jungkook. He knew very well if he could abduct his daughter right under his nose, he could steal her from him forever. Whereas, on one hand, he had no remorse of stealing Jungkook's parents from him. It was his world, which was brutal and filled with sins and heartaches. On the other hand, he was a father who couldn't bear losing his child. Jihan, you have my permission. Go. Be with the one you love. Vian entered Jungkook's penthouse. She didn't inform him as she waited for him in the lounge. Over the couch, all cuddled up in the blanket, Netflix played on the huge LED in front of her, and she had popcorns in her lap, munching onto them. Her heartbeat quickened when she heard the door opening. She kept her focus on the screen, acting as if she didn't hear him coming inside. She didn't want to see him holding a gun at her head because he thought a thief got in. That would be kind of a funny sight, according to her. Wyan, he called her, his voice merely a whisper. She turned her head towards him and flashed the most prettiest smile that took his breath away. Unexpected, but he had no gun out, nor he was wary of someone entering his home behind his back, as if he knew who could it be. Hi, she smiled, and Jungkook wasted no time getting beside her and pulling her in his embrace. He was confident he would have her before the 2 days would end. Jungkook, Princess, I've missed you. She closed her eyes and hugged him back tightly. So when Jungkook kissed her all over her face, she took his affection happily before his lips landed over hers. She kissed him back as he pulled her on his lap. The movie continued to play on the screen behind, which none of them focused on. She cuddled up against him, and his arms perfectly wrapped around her waist. He could feel her all comfortable in his arms like she was before. He won her again, and he couldn't be more at peace than he was now. Jungkook, I love you. I love you so much I'm never letting any pain come near you again. Both of them paid a price. Jungkook gave up our revenge of his parents, and Jihan gave his daughter to his rival. Jungkook, what were you watching? Jumanji. She replied and got herself settled in his lap. In a way, her back leant against his chest and he wrapped his arms around her. Jungkook, shall we switch it to something horror? He rests his chin over her shoulder, leaving butterfly kisses. Wine. You could have offered something romantic. What's with you men? She jumped and laughed when he tickled her. His hands kissed around her bare thighs, and the two laughed and teased, enjoyed the comedy movie already playing, for the whole night going for the second and third part afterwards.